Welcome in the fourth episode. In today's episode we will continue of our implementation of the setGameScene. So let's open Unity and go to the scripts folder. We will have to create another script in that folder. So we need to create the setGameButton. So I will just right click in the Unity, create C# script, and I will call it setGameButton. Okay, let's open the script. And then first thing, let's remove these comments, and then right at the top I want to put the public enum and then button type, and then not set, and then we will have two buttons, so pair number and then puzzle category. Okay, and then we want to create a serialized field, and this variable will be private, and it's going to be the type of our button type, and I will call it button type. And it's going to be equal button type not set. Actually, let's make this variable public, so public, and let's rename it to button type. The next variable will be hiding inspector, and this variable will be public, and it's going to be type of the game settings dot pairs number, and I will call it pair number will be equal to game settings dot pair number dot not set. Okay, and then another variable will be hide in an inspector, so we don't want to see it in the inspector, so public game settings category, and then puzzle categories will be equal to not set. Okay, game settings puzzle categories not set. So we don't need any any update method in this class, so let's remove it. And right below I will add just one more function, so it's going to be public void and then set game option and then string game scene name. Okay, so we want to pass the name of the scene which we want to go to. Okay, let's grab reference for our component, so var comp will be equal to game object dot get component, and this is gonna be, we want to grab the instance of the same component, so make sure you're just getting the setGameButton type. Okay, and then inside this class we want to create the switch statement, so switch comp dot button type, and then the first one will be case setGameButton dot button type dot pairs number. So if this button representing the pairs, we want to call the game settings dot instance dot set pair number, and then we want to grab the comp dot pair number. Okay, and then break. So if the button is a pair number, we want to set the pair number, but if the button is the category, we want to do the game settings dot instance dot set puzzle categories, and we want to grab the comp dot puzzle categories and then break. And then right below we want to check if our game settings dot instance dot actually we just need one more function in our game setting class before we continue. So let's quickly go to our game settings, and then inside this function we want to check if we set all of the settings. So right below I will create another public function, so public bool all settings ready, and then we want to just return if our settings are equal to settings number. Okay, make sure you put double equal sign. Let's save it, and then let's go back to our set game button, and then inside our set game option we want to continue this implementation. So game settings dot instance dot all settings ready. So if we set everything in our set game menu, we want to just load the scene. So scene manager dot load scene, and then we want to pass the game scene name. Okay, if the scene manager is not recognized in your case, make sure you go on the top and put this using Unity's engine scene management. Okay, if I take this one out, you see my scene manager is turned to red, so it's not recognized. I just have a plugin in my Visual Studio, so it's just automatically adding it. That's why I didn't have this problem, but you need to put this line over here. Okay, so now when we actually set everything, save everything, and go back to Unity, and then select our, let's say the 10 pairs button, and drag and drop our button, our set game button script onto this component. So you see we have just the button type, so we can set the button type, but unfortunately we can't set any pairs number or the categories. So what we want to do, we want to have a different option on this script regarding if we select the pair number button or puzzle category. Okay, so in order to do that, we will have to override some of the editor UI. So we need to create just one more script. So let's go to our asset folder. There's some error. Okay, let's go to the asset folder, and then inside the asset folder I will just right click, create folder, and make sure you call this folder editor. Okay, so if you want to override any of the UI in the editor, you need to put the scripts inside the editor folder and make sure it's named editor. Okay, so inside the editor folder I will just right click, create C# script, and I will call this script set game button editor. Okay, let's open the Unity, the Visual Studio, the script. So you have to reload the project. Okay, so as you see, I have the two projects now, and this project is for the editor. So if I go to the asset editor, I can open my script. So this is going to be a quick script. It's not going to be very long. So first of all, let's remove the start and the update method, and make sure you change this class. We don't want to inherit from the mono behavior. We want to inherit from the editor, and then we want to at the top we want to put using Unity editor. Okay, so make sure you put this Unity editor, and then you can inherit from the editor script. And then right at the top I want to put the custom editor, and this is going to be the editor type of, and then we want to create the custom editor for our set game button script. So I need to put this type in the name of the class, set game button. Okay, so type of set game button, then make sure you put this can edit multiple objects in, and then I will put the system serialization. Okay, so inside this class we want to create some functions. So public override, make sure you put the override, and then void, and I will call it on inspector GUI. Okay, so if you wonder why this function is named like that, if you go to the editor, if you right click and select go to the definition, you'll be able to find this on inspector GUI. So let me just search for it, on inspector GUI, and as you see in the summary, you can implement this function to make a custom inspector. Okay, so you can, because this function is virtual, you can overwrite it, but you need to provide the same parameter list and the same return type. Okay, so we need to return the void. So we just want to override this function. So let's go back to our, that's why this function needs to be named exactly as this one. So let's go back to our setGameButton editor, and I will just paste this function, the name in, to make sure it's the same. And then let's put the braces, and then right at the top I want to call the draw default editor inspector. So we do, first of all, want to draw the default one, and then set game button, I will call it my script, will be equal to target. Okay, as set game button, and then I want to put the switch statement, switch my script dot button type. Okay, and then we want to do the case my script button type is par number. So if the button type is the set game button type par number button, we want to do the my script dot par number will be equal to, and now we need to cast to game settings dot e par number, and then we want to call the editor GUI layout dot enum popup. Okay, so this is where we're gonna have like a list of the enums available for these settings, and I will just call it par numbers. Okay, and then I want to put the my script dot par number. Okay, and then we want to put the break. I don't know why it went to another line. I just want to have it on the same line. Okay, so this, make sure you just put this line like that, and then another case will be the case set game button will be equal to the category button. So if we are on the category button, we want to do the my script dot puzzle categories will be equal to, and then we want to cast the game settings dot e puzzle categories. Okay, and then we want to call the editor GUI layout dot enum popup, and then we want to put the name. The name will be puzzle categories, and then I want to pass the my script dot puzzle categories. Okay, and again it just went to the next line, and I want to put the break. Okay, and then outside of this switch statement, I just want to put if the GUI dot changed, we want to put the editor utility dot set dirty, and then target. Okay, so if we change any of the UI stuff, this UI stuff need to be updated. Otherwise, you're just gonna ignore it. Okay, so now make sure you save everything, and then if you go back to Unity now and see our 10 pairs button and go to the scripts, you see we can select our button type. So for the pair button, for the pair number button, we have the pair numbers. But if we change this type to category button, we can set the category, and we have the fruits or vegetables. And the same is for the pairs. We can set the 10 pairs, 15 or 20 pairs. Okay, so this is very convenient way of doing it, and it's very easy for you if you go back to this game, to this project, to just change the type, and that's it. And if you expand your enum, this list will be automatically expanded. Okay, so any script inside the editor folder is acting as the implementation for the UI for the engine, and will not be like a part of your game. It's going to be part of your Unity project, but not part of your game. Okay, so now let's add this script to every single button. So for the 10 pairs button, this is the pair number button, and we want to select the 10 pairs. And then we want to add on-click event. So click this small plus, drag and drop the 10 pair button onto the object, and from the functions do the set game button, and then let's call the function set game option. And then we need to pass the name of the scene we want to load, but we haven't created a scene yet, so we're just gonna quickly do that. So go to the scenes folder and then right click, create scene, and I'm gonna call it game scene. Enter. Okay, and then I'm just gonna copy this name, and then let's go back to the 10 pairs button, and then let's put the game scene over here. And we need to do the same for every single button. 15 pairs button, go to the scripts folder, drag and drop this set game button. Okay, then from the button type select the pair number and then 15. Okay, and then on click, small plus, drag and drop this 15 pairs from the function set game button, and then set game option, and then paste the scene name. And the same for the 20 pairs. So again, the set game button need to be in. This is the pair number, and then 20, small plus. Okay, and then set game button, and then we just need to call the set game option, and then make sure you just put the scene name in every single button. So now for the fruit button, I just want to do the same, set game button. But now from the button type, we want to select the puzzle category, and then this is the fruits, so we're just gonna select the fruits. And now we want to drag and drop the fruits, and then set game button, and then set game option, and then again we want to pass the same names of the scene. And then for the veg button, we want to do the same, but we want to select the puzzle categories and then vegetables. Okay, and then drag and drop the veg button, set game button, and then set game options, and paste the scene. Okay, so this is the implementation. Okay, so I hope this wasn't too difficult. Now let's save this scene, and let's go back to our build settings and make sure, because we have just added new scene, the game scene. So if you not add to the scene in build, this scene will not be run correctly, that you will have an error. So I will just drag this game scene onto this list and make sure you have all three scenes in. Okay, and now we can go back to our main menu scene. And then if you press play, and then now you can actually select the 10 pairs or 20 pairs or 15, and this button is stay selected. And now if you select any of this pair, you're gonna go you're gonna load the game scene. Okay, so as you see, there is an error. The error is because we have forgot to add our game settings to our project. So in the main menu, I will quickly right click and then empty scene, and I will call this empty game object, and I will call this game object the game settings. Game settings, okay? I usually call it like that if it's a data, and then go to the scripts, drag and drop this game settings onto this game object, and you have to do the same for the set game. Save, create empty, game settings, and then drag and drop the game settings script onto this game object, okay? And now you can just save it. So I will go back to main menu, save, and now when we run, press play, we can select the 10 pairs and let's say the fruits, and as you see, we have loaded the game scene. And if we do, let's say we first of all select the categories, the game will not run until you select any of this button. Okay, you can change these categories however many times you like, and then if you select the 20, let's say, if you select this and this, is gonna run, okay? So do this again, select this, and then 10, and everything is running. So now if we select, let's say 20 pairs, and then fruits, vegetables, we're going to the game scene. So that's it for today's episode. In the next episode, we will start to implement our game scene based on our selection from the set game. Okay, so this was really the core implementation of this game, because based on the settings, we're gonna spawn different objects in our game. So thank you very much for watching, and see you again in the next episode.